Well, hello and good evening. Welcome to When Wisdom Talks. I'm Alisha.
And I'm Kadesha.
And I'm Naomi, and welcome to When Wisdom Talks, another Thursday where we're hanging out with all of you, with the three of us, the Wisdom on the Wall trio. We just want to let you know how excited we are to be hanging out with you again. And if you are a newcomer, y'all already know what to do. Our faithfuls do at least. But if you're new, leave your name in the comments so we can give you a shout out. We want to let you know how much we appreciate you. And to all of our faithfuls, thank you for tuning in every single week. We want you to know that we love and appreciate you. This episode and all other episodes are sponsored by Wisdom on the Wall and Be Inspired Global Network. And of course, we have to let you know what our mission is. And that is to empower all of you to live better and wiser through engaging discussions, fun activities, and inspiring special guest interviews. So, with that, I'm going to turn it on over to my girl, Kadesha.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, we are wrapping up the month of February. It's a short month. So next week when we see you, we will be in March and getting that much closer to spring. Praise Jesus. So we're excited. So if you've been tuning in for the past, 3 Thursdays, we have been talking about letting love flow. And so this week specifically, we are speaking specifically, okay, tongue tie, about National Global Movie Day. So we're going to be talking to you about some of the movies that we absolutely love. Some of them may or may not be love stories. Okay. We're mushy at heart. I will say I do love a romantic comedy. So we're going to be just talking to you about some of the movies that we love. Of course, we want to hear from you, some of the movies that you've been watching. Now that we've been in the pandemic, movie streaming is big, right? So I've actually been enjoying watching some of the movies that you would have had to pay, $35 and 2 arms and a leg. Okay, I've been enjoying them right at home in my living room. So movies have changed, the experience has changed. Nonetheless, there's still some great movies out. So anyway, we're going to be talking about that theme today. But before we get into the show, of course, we want to remind you to go ahead and share the show. All right. It takes 2.5 seconds to share the show. Make sure if you're not already that you are following us on Instagram at When Wisdom Talks. If you have not, if your family or if your friends have not, make sure you and them subscribe to our YouTube page at When Wisdom Talks. Of course, when you are commenting, we will ask you to put in the comments, if you could, hashtag When Wisdom Talks so we can get that trending on social media. If you want to connect with us or learn more about us, you can absolutely go to our wisdomonthewalls.com. You will learn about our nonprofit. You'll learn about the three of us individually. We actually have our bios up there. So we actually do more than empower, y'all. We are, we love to empower, but we do have full lives as well. So you'll learn a little bit about that on our website. And of course, if you ever want to connect with us, send us an email. if you're looking to partner, if you want to donate, if you want us to speak at one of your events, you can do that. info@wisdomonthewall.com. So that's how you can connect with us. But remember to make sure you tell somebody. If you enjoy yourself on Thursday nights, make sure you tell somebody about us throughout the week as well. Okay. So we're looking forward to having a great show. Before we get too far into the show, I need to pass it right back on over to my girl, Alisha.
Thank you much. Thank you much. All righty. This is our girl. Tell me a good story segment. And for those of you who may be new to the show, again, welcome. But our girl, tell me a good story segment is really about a good story. Is where we may share a story about us personally, collectively, what have you, or maybe a story we heard about someone else and we thought it might be great to share with you. But the bottom line boils down to we're going to share a good story with you all. So I'll go ahead and kick us off tonight. And my girl, what's your story? Well, actually, now it's girl, tell me a good story, is about the Time Magazine's Kid of the Year. OMG. This little boy, 11 years old, Orion Jean, and he's from Mansfield, Texas. And I heard about him actually a few months ago. It wasn't about the Time magazine because this just literally came out this month. But this boy is awesome. He actually, we're talking about everything going on with COVID, especially you hear the stories as it pertains to our young children, how it's really affecting them mentally, emotionally, so on and so forth. But even in the midst of this young 11-year-old is thriving. He's putting even some adults to shame. Let me just put it that way. But he actually, during this whole 2 years of COVID, he's been really finding and sharing positivity and stories of hardship and areas where it's been challenging, so on and so forth. And I just want to share something that he was quoted as saying. He was interviewed by Angelina Jolie, and this is what he said to her. He said, kindness is a choice. And while we can't force others to be kind, we can be kind ourselves and hope to inspire other people. I want others to know that they can start today. And he goes on to say, you have to find something that breaks your heart for you to really get out there and make a difference. Now, mind you, let me tell you that he is actually an 11-year-old. There's a lot of wisdom in that 11 years of this little boy's life. But what I really loved is that prior to the pandemic starting, when he was 9 years old, what actually happened was he what actually happened was um, he won. It was a contest. It was a student kindness contest, and he actually won $500. Now think about it: a 9 year old would want to spend it on some toys and some other things. This little 9 year old at that time, he says, "You know what? I want to actually donate it." He donated to a local children's hospital, all 500 of it. And since then, the 2 years in the midst of COVID, he's collected, and you got to catch this number, he's collected and donated hundreds of thousands of books, meals, and toys to those that are in need. And I'm going to say that one more time, not hundreds, but hundreds of thousands of toys and meals and books, and donated it to others. And so, what I love about his story is not only has he found a way to be a blessing and be kind and bring joy to other people, but he's also learned at such a young age of how to incorporate other people. So he's bringing together local communities, local governments to actually help those who are in need as well. So I have to say, again, this 11-year-old is actually beyond his years of maturity. I'm looking forward to all the greatness that is going to come out of his life. And I just want to send a shout out just in case he may be watching, or maybe his parents or someone else may be watching. Congratulations, Orion. You are actually showing all of us what it takes to be kind and to be a blessing to those who are in the need. So shouts out to you. So that is my girl. Tell me a good story. And I'm curious as to what you two have going on over there.
That was awesome. I love that name. Did you say Orion?
Yes.
I love
Orion
that.
Jean.
Go ahead, Orion Jean. I love it. Teaching us how to have a good heart and be passionate about the things that we do. So yeah, y'all feeling my last little Thursday of the Black History Month, my Angela Davis look. Yes. I love it. I love it. Yeah, we're headed to spring, so natural is going to be the way that I'm gonna be rolling here. So, but yeah, so I am. I guess my tell me a good story is just grateful for my crazy family. Um, I think that well, yeah, I think I'm going to say it and declare it. The older I get, the longer I'm going to celebrate my birthday. So, um, sometimes you'll hear people say, "Hey, I'm celebrating for a month," and I'm like, "Dang, that's a long time." But I wasn't. I don't think I started early in the month, but at least did start like a week in advance. So yes, the older I get, the longer I'm going to celebrate. So I kicked it off with Rachel, my good friend and former guest. We went to some Japanese and had us a good time. And actually, it was funny because where we were sitting at, apparently, oh, they had been celebrating Valentine's Day, so it was a bunch of balloons and all this stuff. So Rachel was like, "Let's take pictures as if we decorated for you." So I kicked that off with Rach on Friday, and then my family came up, my mom and my sister, which they don't come this way often, right? Because now that my sister lives in a different part of Maryland, so it's just always easier for me to go there and just go straight to Delaware. So it was very special for them to come up, and I was very intentional because they have a habit of being on time. They are not me, okay? So I told them specifically, "Don't get here. I got my church service. Let me get ready." And of course, they roll up, and I'm still like getting dressed. So, nonetheless, we went to brunch and had a really good time. And they came bearing gifts, and I don't know if I'll be able to show all of the gifts, but they did a really good job with some balloons. Mom even brought me a cake. We ain't gonna talk about how the cake is almost gone, but we had to eat it before we leave. So, but no, they got me all stuff that I need. So, one of the things with me working out is I didn't have enough workout clothes, so I would like wear like day one, day two, and then I had to throw it in the washer so I can wear it the following week. So, because when you work out, it's just a whole lifestyle and all that. But anywho, so sis got me some workout clothes, a hoodie, because I like to put that over my workout clothes, and the huzzy got me this shirt that says, "Sorry, I'm late. What's it say? I got here as soon as I wanted to." So it may or may not be true. I'm not going to confirm or deny, but nonetheless, they really had some good gifts that had me in mind. And then mom, one of the things she got me was this thing here. Oh, you can't see it, but it says "Faith makes all things possible." So it's a little knickknack that I can put like on my desk. And since I do have some as we travel, I have some online stuff that I need to do. So I'm going to bring this with me as I'm like working from my desk. So it was cute. They got me some good gifts, good cake, good food. So we go to this brunch place and we sometimes like to get French toast for dessert. So we did that. We just ate really good and had a good time. And it was something my mother may or may not like to try new things. So we was able to convince her to try a new restaurant. She's like, "Why don't we go to Fridays, mother?" No. So we went to a new restaurant and she really, really enjoyed it. So that's just some encouragement for you guys. Try something new. I know you like your same restaurant, your same food, but every now and again it's okay to try something new. So overall, I'm just really grateful for my family because I won't be here for my birthday and don't even know if my phone gonna be working, child. So I'm glad that I was able to celebrate with them before leaving. Um, and so yeah, we had a good time, a few hours, and then my mother has a green thumb, so she was in here making fun of my plants that clearly I don't have a green thumb. So she's like doctoring them up. Like her and my sister treat plants like kids, okay? And clearly I didn't get that part of the gene. So we just had some good mommy sister time, and yeah, got some good gifts. Who don't like gifts? So looking forward to turning an age or older in a few days.
Yes. So let's just do it. Happy birthday to you.
To you,
Happy birthday to you.
to you.
Happy birthday, dear Kadesha.
Woo, woo.
Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Oh, ladies. Excited for you. And the fact that you won't be here is a plus for you. I was as you were talking about your mom, I said I have a similar story that my son is a creature of habit too. So it's been really hard over the years getting him to try new things because he's been so used to not eating certain foods. However, as he's getting older, he'll be 13 in like 2 weeks. His taste buds are becoming a little more mature. So he's been trying things. He's been eating vegetables that he hasn't eaten before in the past. I'm like, I'm impressed. So there is hope for change out here, people. Well, I'm gonna do my my girl tell me a good story news reporter style. I have my paper here, my notes, but it's an incredible story because it's following one of my favorite, I would say, media moguls, even though she's had a lot of controversy. Just to watch her career unfold has been amazing. And that's Wendy Williams. There are a lot of people who don't really care for her because, again, she can be quite controversial, but no one can deny the amount of success that she has had over the years with her career. However, in light of some of the health issues that she has been having, she hasn't been able to host her show, The Wendy Williams Show. She's had some guest hosts who have come on and stood in the place of her. And so one of the people who have stood in the place of her is the lovely Sherri Shepherd. Oh my gosh, who is equally amazing. I love her personality. She's funny, she's witty. So the thing is, Sherri Shepherd has a new talk show now that's going to be taking over the Wendy Williams time slot. So her willingness to step in for Wendy Williams has actually ended up being a blessing for her. Wendy Williams, unfortunately, will be indefinitely, she won't be returning to the show right now. She'll be indefinitely out of the host job and position. So we're praying for her well-being. I know there's been a lot of controversy around that as well, but congratulations to Sherri Shepherd, and her show will be called Sherri, just like Wendy Williams shows Wendy. So I think that's really cool. And so some of the people who work and producers that work on the Wendy Williams show will be transitioning over to Sherri Shepherd's show to help to make sure that there's a nice transition. I believe some of the elements she will still have that Wendy Williams had, like hot topics and things like that. However, we will see come fall 2022 how her show unfolds. I'm really excited. I love Wendy Williams. But Sherri Shepherd is going to knock it out the park. She held her own on the Wendy Williams show for the weeks that she was on there. And the ratings were amazing when she was on there. So everybody agreed that this opportunity is definitely for her. She's not a novice. She's done several other talk show opportunities before. She's a comedian and actress. So this pretty much fits the bill for her very well. Shout out to Sherri Shepherd. We're really happy for you, and we can't wait to see your show.
Wow, that's awesome. Wasn't she on The View at one
Yeah,
point?
yeah,
Okay,
she was
cool.
actually. She was one of the original hosts of The View.
Yeah.
So this is
Awesome.
really nice to kind of see that whole thing come full circle for her. And I'm really excited to see how her show will be, but I think it will be there for the long haul. I know a lot of people, especially the producers from the Wendy Williams show, have that feeling that this will be one of those long haul kind of talk shows because she just has that chemistry with the audience, with the viewers.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, congrats to her. I definitely will have to check that one out when it kicks off. Let us know when it kicks off, okay? So, cool bees. Awesome job, ladies. Well, I am excited to kick it off or turn it over to Kadesha to kick off this next segment. So, with that, back to you, Kadesha.
Thank you, ma'am. As you were talking, Naomi, with your news reporter notes, I'm like, I can kind of see her like on ET or like, one of those like entertainment, but you still gonna have the fun. I'm still a Jesus girl, faith girl, but I can still have fun, in the world type. So I can really see that. Like, who was it? Mario Lopez. What show is he on? Is he on? Is that Entertainment Tonight? Um, you on mute, honey?
Is that Inside Edition?
Yes, I
No.
was going
Inside
to say
Edition.
Okay.
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah. So anyway, go ahead and do it, girl. So yeah, I mentioned earlier that we are going to be highlighting some of our favorite movies for National Global Movie Day. We have some clips that we're going to be giving to you. Don't forget to tune in the chat. Okay, so one, if you've seen the movie that we highlight, definitely say, "Oh, I seen it. I loved it. I hate it." Or definitely tell us what you have enjoyed and what you're watching now. We're always looking for stuff to, in our downtime. Not that we have a lot, honey, but we make time for us and we make time to have fun and we make time to relax. So share something that you may be watching, a series on Netflix or a movie that you're watching, particularly one of love. So for me personally, I love, I don't know what it is. I love J-Lo as an actor or actress, excuse me. Love her as an actress. I just feel like all her movies are right up my alley. And it's like J-Lo to me is like, I love my Adam Sandler's. I love my, of course, Denzel's. But I just love the movies that, like, I can't even wait. I think one just came out a few days ago with J-Lo and called Marry Me. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But just love her as an actress. So one of my faves that I want to highlight is Made in Manhattan. And I like it for many reasons, right? But let me see. We're going to trust technology, okay? And let's see if I can share a snippet for you and then we can discuss it. Oh, all righty. No, that's not it.
Well, I was just going to say, I share your sentiment about Jennifer Lopez. She does put out some great movies. Anytime she puts out a movie, you know it's going to be a good one. And I love the fact that she incorporates real life situations. Like I actually was looking at her movie Plan B today while I was working. And so that's another really good movie of hers. But yeah, Jennifer Lopez is actually quite a mogul, if I will say so. She's
You said you said it's called Plan B?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Plan B, and it's about her wanting to get pregnant.
Okay. I've definitely seen that one, yes.
Mhm. So yeah. But
And
Made in Manhattan is one of my faves. I like that one too, Kadesha.
that is funny. Why can't I find this thing to share? Here it is. Praise the Lord, from
It
whom all
is.
blessings flow.
Hush just now. Let's go.
Friday morning, people. Heads up.
At Manhattan's Beresford Hotel, where the rich and famous can always be seen.
Mr. Marshall, is it true you're running for senator?
It was Marissa Ventura's job to go
A
unnoticed.
Beresford maid is expedient.
Excuse me, that needs pressing.
A Beresford maid stares with a smile.
Maria, excuse me, what do you think? Dolce coat, Ralph Lauren skirt.
She's a maid.
Oh, excuse me.
And above all, a Beresford maid strives to be invisible.
I had no idea anyone was here.
Don't worry, Mr. Monty. It's no big deal.
Live it, girl. I live it.
But when you least expect it,
Nice. Put it back. It's not too tried on.
His name's Rufus. I'm Chris.
I know who you are.
Yeah? What do you know?
You're running for senator.
I love this kid.
fate can open the door.
It's Ty.
What are you talking about? Ty, don't eat.
Hello?
Hi. This is Christy. He's got a giant gray dog. I'm gonna go walk with him.
That look pretty much said it all on her face. Like it was about to go down in terms of a love story. So I love this movie for a few different reasons. One, it it reminded me a little bit of like Cinderella, like that Cinderella type of theme, where the person who you think that they won't fall in love with, like she gets the guy in the end, right? So and what we saw there was her trying on the clothes of someone who has a lot of money. So she's a maid working at a hotel, doing okay for herself, just wanting to provide for her son. That her son is her everything. And so her and her friend, they just start, snooping around closets and looking to see what some of these rich women are wearing as they're cleaning up. And so somehow she ends up in this outfit. And that's the scene that you see there where the gentleman who's running for senator walks in. And so he thinks that she has money and she doesn't. So long story short, they end up, going on some dates. And then the story actually comes out that she is this maid, opposed to being this rich woman. She's a maid. And even with him knowing that, he decides to pursue her and they decide to date. And of course, it's, happily ever after in movie land, right? But I just love it because one, I do after being married for a while, I do genuinely believe that opposites do attract. So, you may not fall for somebody who looks like you, acts like you, may not even come from the same social economic that, class that you come from, but love can still exist. And so I love it. If we open, remember last week we was talking about being open to the swirl, as some may call it, being open to dating someone who may make more money, may make less money, right? So it's just about being open and letting love flow. So I love J-Lo and love Made in Manhattan.
That is awesome. I was going to say the same thing in terms of just having to be open, being open to what the opportunities are out there, being open to where you could potentially find love. You always have your idea of what that next meeting will take place, like where would it happen? And it never happens there, So again, if you just have your heart, your mind, your soul, and your spirit open for what God has for you, he'll surprise you in a nice way. So yeah, that was really cute. I like that scene.
I like to because there's several themes in the movie. You have the love scene, but then she's also on the verge of pursuing her career or going for a better position within her career in her field. And so at first she was fearful, like many people are, when you think about the idea of progressing and being successful. But what I love is you always got to have that A1 in your corner that's going to be your cheerleader and actually help you and push you towards your destiny and those things that you really want to do. And so that's what I love about this movie too, that there were several running themes, that you had the love story, but alongside it, you got to see her progress in her personal life. And I think that's really key in terms of life in general, that even though you want to connect and be in a companionship, you still shouldn't forget about yourself and those goals that you want to pursue. Because sometimes you can get lost in this whole world of love and companionship that you forget about you. And if you're not a well-packaged individual, you won't bring much to the relationship. So I love those two running themes in the movie.
You sure won't. You better go ahead and teach the people about love and dating. But I also like too that she is a single mom, and that could be, something that I resonate with, being raised by a single mom. And her son was her everything. Like she worked as many hours as she could so she could supply, the needs of her son. So that was like a big deal to her to make sure he was good. But along same lines of your point, Naomi, like he's watching her progress, so he's watching her move forward and advance. And he's watching, this guy who they may feel like they never would have like connected with outside of this hotel. Like he's watching him say yes to her. So all these things are like possible for him, right? So I love that. And that little boy Ty, he was so cute. So yeah, that's one of my faves. Yeah, I guess y'all can show a fave if you like.
Who wants to go next? You
I
want
can
to go,
go.
Alisha? Okay.
Okay. All righty. Here we go.
Everybody say yeah. We are doing good on this technology. We are trying. We doing real good. So what y'all think about Made in Manhattan? Have you guys seen that? And type in the chat. Say one if you seen, or yay or nay.
I love it. Yeah, I'll say yeah. I've seen it. I love it. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Right, but just thinking like the humble beginnings that J Lo started from, right? The what was that, In Living Color? She started In Living Color as a dancer. Go ahead, Alisha.
Negro, what are you doing here?
Let me buy you dinner.
Okay, the Billy D thing is a little played out, but I will give you 10 cool points for nostalgia's sake. I am not trying to meet another man at this time.
You and I should get together sometime and have a drink.
I don't think that'll be a very good idea.
Hey,
persistence.
be surprised how far I can get you.
Boom, put it on. Oh, you meet a friend of mine, Tracy Powell.
Hi.
What?
You married.
Wait, if my memory serves me correctly, you were the one that told me not to get married.
I did say that, but I also said the Commodores would get back together. I mean, who knew?
What I need is to find a man who's not scared of my power.
Ladies, what's up? I don't need poetry to get women.
No, you need a personality to get women.
Try a breath mint and a visa.
New Line Cinema presents.
We had a perfect date, and I just wanted to feel like I was saving something for later.
No, but baby, you ain't gotta say nothing for me. I mean, I want mine now.
Sometimes a man just want to be held, cuddled a little bit.
Please. Lorenz Tate, Nia Long, Lisa Nicole Carson, Isaiah Washington, and Bill Bellamy.
I just want to ask you, what type of underwear do you like?
In a film about making it.
All we ask is a little sex on demand. What kind of underwear do you have on?
I don't wear drawers.
You don't have any on right now.
Breaking it.
Wave goodbye to your daddy, baby.
And putting it all together.
This is nothing serious. This is not a love thing.
Love Jones.
Yes, it's for you.
Wait a minute. You made breakfast.
Directed by Theodore Witcher.
That was good. That was good.
I love that movie. My husband loves that movie too.
I love
That
it long.
my most favorite movie. OMG. I can't tell you. Oh my gosh. I think for me, it's like the urban love story. It's like when you watch that and watching the entire movie, there are so many nuances when it comes to relationships. You have kind of going back to what you were saying, Naomi, like you have your cheerleader girl, your sister friend there for you, like go for it. Because Nina was trying to play, kind of hard to get or whatever. But it I don't know. I can't even explain how much I love the movie. But there was a scene I wanted to show, and it had a colorful word in it. I'll call it a colorful word, so I didn't show it. But it's a scene where they've gone through their whole life. They were dating, and then there was some infidelity. Then they actually broke up, and then both of their careers took off, and she moved away. And then, she came back. Like real love will cause you to come back after you've kind of matured and grown and experienced life. And she comes back to the club where they, share the spoken word. And she shared the word, didn't know that he was there. Actually, she was looking for him and didn't see him. And then when she's leaving, thinking that she's just going to go back and, continue to do life, he calls her out, calls her name, and they have that one romantic scene where they're talking, and I love it because he's so vulnerable. A lot of guys aren't vulnerable. They won't say when they were wrong. And in that scene, he apologizes to her about what he did that was wrong in the relationship. And I was like, how mature is that? Because again, a lot of times, and I won't just put it on men, there are some women too who won't admit to their stuff. So I thought it was a really great scene where, they talk about what they did wrong, and then, let's try it again. And it was his idea, like, let's try it again. Because oftentimes it's the woman who's like, let's make this thing work. But it was him who was kind of pleading for her, which kind of turns the tables, which I thought was really great. But again, I really liked it because you see all of the positives, the highs and the lows when it comes to a relationship, but also it shows what could potentially happen and we were talking about this with the last clip, when you're working on yourself. So you work on yourself, you get yourself whole. And I think we were talking about this last week where we talked about the whole love thing. And I made the comment of two whole people need to come together. So, work on yourself, become the best you, the best whole you can be. And then he brings the best whole to the table and you actually have a wonderful union. So I just absolutely love, love, love. I can't say it enough. That is my favorite movie.
I was going to say, well, communication obviously is one of those things in relationships that many people struggle with. And so it's nice to see a movie that actually demonstrates how, if you don't communicate properly, what happens. And then when you finally do, the success that you can have in your relationship. I always, how the saying goes, life imitates art, art imitates life. So a lot of these movies we're seeing get their inspiration from real life situations. Somebody experienced just that situation and put it in the script. So, yep.
I mean, I'm looking at, I don't remember the year that came out, Alisha, but I'm just looking at the star-studded cast, right? Like the Bill Bellamy's, the Nia Long, who I love. And actually, I don't think I've ever shared with you guys, but my family, when I was younger, and some still do, but they call me Nina. So I always resonated with that. Who else was in there? Of course, well, the Lorenz Tate. And I feel like there was some other cool ones that maybe wasn't shown during the clip, but it's like, man, just to see people evolve in, their career, their acting career, and to see how far that they have come, is always amazing to me. Somebody who can have longevity in their career.
Absolutely. That is so true. And the other thing, it was funny that you were talking about that. I saw, I don't know if it was my favorite morning show that I was watching, my favorite morning news show, but Bill Bellamy was recently quoted as saying that for that role he played in that, for those who don't know, he played like he was kind of a hater, for lack of a better word, of their relationship, and he tried to intervene. I mean, he kind of messed it up for a moment. And he said, to this day, there are people who hate him literally because of that role. And he's like, they don't understand. It's just a role. Like, I was acting, but he did play that role very well, where I just recall watching that movie and it was kind of like, ooh, karma is going to come back and get you, because you can't do that to people. But yeah, like you said, Kadesha, just thinking of that. And I also just think about the chemistry the two of them had. I always felt like they would end up getting married. Never knew that Lorenz was actually, he's been married for double-digit years. Like, I never knew that. So yeah, there goes that crush from years ago. It's like,
well, I was going to say, to your point, there is an actual, in communications, there is an actual such thing as like creating a pseudo environment, where if you're looking at something on television, you become so invested that it feels like reality for you. So it's a pseudo environment that you enter into, where this is a real world. So when you see people on the street, like say like soap opera star come up, and you see them, and the person want to slap them, like, oh, I can't stand. Why did you do so and so like that? For them, this is reality. They have created reality. So that's a real thing. It's a real
thing. Too funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know how I would react. I'm like, do you know how to, understand that is not me? I'm just getting paid to do that. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle that very tactfully. So I guess that's why God doesn't have me going down that lane. He's like, she wouldn't handle that very well. It's like, all right, Naomi, we're going to throw it over to you.
Okay, so I'm excited to show this. This movie is from 1987, but the themes in it are so amazing, and I resonated with it on several levels. But I'll just let you see it, and then we can talk about it.
To enhance your enjoyment of the film Baby Boom, we present a guide to phrases used by that unique category of baby boomer known as the yuppie.
I need the P&Ls on Atlantic Overseas. I also need the latest ZBBs and PBBs. And Robin, I want you to get me the CEO of IBC ASAP. Not really great with living things.
I think you are. Gonna make love?
Are you telling me that I inherited a baby from a cousin I hadn't seen since 1954?
Your baby just barfed all over my boss.
This is not my baby. I went to Yale and Harvard. I don't have children.
I can still count on you 7 days a week, 48 hours a day.
Of course. I mean, I'm not going to turn into Irma Bombeck. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I will teach your daughter to properly respect a man.
Oh, Bon appetit. I just want to turn on the faucet and have water. I don't want to know where it's coming from. Ah! I am a tough, cold career woman who has absolutely nothing in common with a veterinarian from Hadleyville.
Baby Boom.
Mother?
So what's crazy about this movie, I was only 5 when it actually came out in 1987. But the thing about it is I've watched this movie, and a lot of these movies that I remember from the 80s, my mom would play. But I love the fact that there were, again, these running themes. You have this corporate, high-powered corporate woman who then is thrust into a whole new reality. What they didn't show is that once she inherits this baby and moves to the country, she comes up with a new business idea to create baby food because she has an apple orchard. So she has apples there, and she's picking the apples, and she makes baby applesauce. And then from that, it evolves to other baby foods. And then the business ends up like blowing up. And then the company that she was working for, the corporation that she was working for, ends up wanting to buy the business from her. She ends up having to quit because there's this guy who's after her job and pretty much boxes her into a corner where she then ends up having to quit the job. But I love it because I myself quit my job in 2018 to start a business. And this movie inspired me to show what the possibilities are, that when you really take those huge leaps of faith, even if it was against your will, because sometimes God will force you to make a decision only to put you right in the position where you need to be for your success. This movie, Baby Boom, is amazing, and it has the classic love story in it, because not only did she quit her job and start a new business, but then she got a new boo, and he actually fit her new lifestyle. The other guy fit her high-powered corporate America lifestyle, but this other guy fit her new lifestyle. And then the baby was definitely a bonus because it taught her about relationship and that whole idea of work-life balance. Because at first she didn't have it, but after she inherited the baby and realized that there's more to life than just corporate America and making all this money, she learned that idea of work-life balance. So I love that movie. One of my favorites, actually.
Well, I have to honestly say I have never seen the movie, but based on that and what you were sharing, I'll be willing to actually check it out. Because like you said, I see the themes running through there, and as you were talking, it was making me think about when you have children, it forces you into selflessness. You know, you may have been selfish, and I don't want to use the word selfish, but you just been, for you. But then when this other life comes in, you got to give up some of the things that you enjoy doing or what have you and take care of this innocent child that can't do anything for themselves. And I love that. For me, I look at it like, God rewarded her for making that adjustment and being able to allow her to see a business idea that was more lucrative for her than what she was already in. So kudos. I really like that.
Yeah, and I think it's just a good story of like pivoting. I feel like we addressed that sometime last week, but life isn't always a linear thing, right? It comes with ups and downs and turns, and I think the most successful people are those who are able to pivot. So in her case, she was able to take on this role as a mom, which it seemed, because I don't think I'm almost certain I haven't seen it. If I have, it's been a very long time, but it seemed as if she was almost resisting it a little bit. And I think sometimes like, and I'm not there yet, but I think sometimes as women we feel like, because from the clip, it's almost like we can't be all that we can be at business if we have a mom, if we have a mom responsibility, right? So it's like the boss was asking her, and I can still count on you for this and for 40 hours and this, like, okay, well, what if I do need to work 38 hours? I'm a whole mom out here, and that needs to take precedence, So we do have it tough, just trying to balance life and keeping the priorities, the main thing, which for me and for us, I believe is God family business. And it is a everyday challenge to make sure we live by that prescribed order.
Yeah, because opportunity is always there, lurking in the wings, and it's enticing, and it'll get you to second guess your priorities and your values, your core values. And so it is a testament that every day you have to choose the right core values and the priorities for your life. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about before, about that Kairos time. You only get a certain amount of time with babies, for an example, because once they're grown, and they have their own responsibilities, their own friends, and they don't want anything to do with family. So it's just making the most out of those moments. So I'm glad she was able to pivot. Yeah, and I may have to check it out too. I don't know where I'm gonna find it at, but I'm sure you'll be able to tell me.
Oh yeah, right on Roku somewhere. You just do a search on there. One of your streaming apps, I'm sure it has it. I think Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, am I back up?
Well, no, we got we got time. Yeah, we got a little bit of time.
Well, I don't have a clip this time. I just have an image, and this is one of those. Actually, it's this one, and a few others that I can literally, of Adam Sandler, just watch on replay. And I should have did the other one, darn it, but this one is cute too. All right, let me see. So it's just an image. Here we go, Lord. Wait, no, that ain't it. My bad. Well, no, I don't want to do that one. Hold on, Naomi. Yes, Lord.
I hope y'all having fun so far. Let us know if you like the movies that we've been showing, or if you've seen them, or what you thought about them. Leave us a comment.
So 51st Dates with Adam Sandler. Oh, can I make it big, Jesus? I don't think I can. And Drew Barrymore. Cutest little thing. Well, first of all, Adam Sandler is one of those, like I said, I just love him to pieces, because I think when I look at him, I don't see him as being like the romantic type. So it kind of like, it's that oxymoron thing. But all of his little romantic comedies, love them. So in this particular one, Drew Barrymore fortunately had an accident that caused her to have amnesia. And so they met somewhere, maybe in a restaurant or something. Of course, he has his eye on her and thinks she's just the flyest thing ever. But it come to find out the next day he saw her again, and she didn't remember him. And so somebody that knew them both was just kind of pull him to the side and explaining what happened. And so with him knowing this, he still decided to propose and to marry her. And so it was his task that he was going to basically date her every day and treat every day as if it was a new day, because in her mind it was. So he had made a VHS, so that's telling you how long ago it was, a videotape of when they got married and all these things, so she will remember. So anytime, because sometimes, just imagine, right? So if you have amnesia, think about sleeping next to somebody and you wake up and you forget who they are. So he would pop in the video and say, wait, just wait, and we'll pop in the video, and then that would calm her down and she would just start to cry and boo-hoo. But to me, that's like the ultimate love story, and that really is what marriage is about, for good and bad, in sickness and in health. And for him to commit to loving her in spite of her memory, in spite of she not remembering him on a daily basis, like that's just love. And so it took place in Hawaii, which is one of those places that is on my bucket list. So maybe that's one of the reasons I loved it as well. But I just think it's an ultimate story of like sacrifice, right? So whether it's a relationship or not just a marriage, but any relationship, there's a level of sacrifice. And in this case, he was willing to go far and beyond for her. So that's why I love 50 First Dates.
I love it. That was a movie I haven't seen as well. But as you were talking, immediately what came to mind was sacrifice, just like you said. And you first and foremost, you're sacrificing for the person you love, but also there has to be a level of what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence in who you are. I mean, because again, you think about, like you said, she wakes up and she's like terrified, and that can wear on your self-esteem, your ego and all the other parts of it. So there's a lot that's embedded in that in terms of, dealing with a situation like that. And it makes me think about, you think about dementia. That's a big thing today. And people are dealing with that. And again, when you marry, you make a commitment, like you said, in sickness and health. And yeah, that's a real thing right there. So kudos to him to make it special for her every single day. That's true commitment and love.
Do we have time for another?
I think so. Yeah, we still have about 8 minutes left.
Okay, I'll go this time because the video is right here. Okay.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh. Another one of my favorites that came out in the 90s. I think the both of you have seen this. I'm just going to play the trailer.
Girl, we need to move on. And we need to get us some new jobs.
Listen, y'all, I got the inside scoop on the biggest video audition to hit the airwaves, the Video Dance Girl of the World.
It's a sign from God.
Me see you bugging.
There's only one way we gonna find out. Let's go to LA.
You might want to go on home now, because I'm here.
That's my girl! Booyah!
My boss is doing a music video. I thought you'd be perfect for it.
How many C notes we talking here?
$10,000.
Where he at?
New Line Cinema presents
Living large and take a charge, big boy!
How did you get past security?
a movie about two friends
Follow me.
on the way up.
Where's the way, Alfred?
Where's Alfred?
You know, Batman's homeboy.
To the back, Kurt!
My uncle is a very sick man.
That's sad.
I'm not making a music video. This job involves an old man to make sure that his days are filled with kindness and love.
I ain't giving up no booty.
No. Now they're gonna show The other half,
They don't pay crazy cash for this. She look like Lakeisha Jenkins with a bad hair weave.
how to live.
I know you like golf and stuff, but you really need to be watching BET.
Good morning, everybody. Don't forget my Ice Cube CD, Manly.
A 2-pack, too short, the dog pound, and pull up to the bumper, baby.
You got that Mac 10, baby? Yeah. West Coast. What you know about that Luke Skywalker, huh? Get it.
Hey, why they got two toilets? You know how rich folks is. They got to feel like they got a choice in everything.
What say we go on a shopping spree?
Today must be my lucky day.
This spring,
Oh, it's so cool you down with us.
give it up
You need to scoot over, because I ain't got no problem sleeping on this expensive white carpet, because I know it's poodle hair.
for the ladies in the house.
Now then, who could be calling it this time?
My boyfriend.
He says you're tripping because you're in Hollywood, and he hopes you don't get played.
Babs.
Tell him he better hope his mama don't get played.
Hello, sir. She hopes your mama don't get played.
Oh my gosh. That movie, first of all, me and Lily love that movie. I got her on it. We used to watch that movie almost every day a few years ago. But I love it because it's that classic rag to riches story. I love it because she was following her dreams, what she thought was her dream that led to her real destiny. And then you have the sisterhood, the girlfriend, then you have the love story with the guys that they loved, that were willing to change their way of life and their mindset to come up to where they were. I mean, there's so much in it. Not to mention it's funny. But anyway, I love the movie.
I do remember that one, and I just remember laughing hilariously. But the word that comes to mind for me is authenticity. Just being who you are, regardless of what the situation is, and they brought where they came from with them. And the other thing that I thought about was the Beverly Hillbillies. It's like it's like, oh Lord, bringing all the baggage with you. Yeah, but that was a good one. I do remember that one. Good choice, Naomi.
That's funny. Because so often we think we have to change, right? And you'd be surprised how the things that you feel like you need to change, people actually envy that in you. And that's the thing that's going to actually give people life. Like she was giving that older man life by some of the, what they call it, 2-pack. 2-pack. So it's like we all have something to give to the world, so it's like be as colorful, as creative, as charismatic as you want to be. But yeah, I'm not sure if I've seen the entire movie, but it definitely looks hilarious, especially with that blonde bombshell hair that Halle Berry is rocking. Go ahead, Halle, you better do it. I love it. So this was good. So what you guys think in the chat box? Tell us. Have you seen all these movies? And then let us know if you haven't, which ones you're going to watch first. And of course, tell us what movies you're watching. But this was good. We hope that you guys are taking time to enjoy family and enjoy movies and enjoy just sometimes doing nothing. Sometimes we live life by a to-do list, and sometimes it's okay to put your feet up, get you some tea, some water, some wine, whatever drink of your choice, honey. Ain't no judgment on this side of the screen. But, and just relax, which I'm looking forward to doing once we are done here. Hallelujah. But yeah, this was good, y'all. So what's any key takeaways before we roll out of here?
I enjoyed it as well. And I think you kind of hit on it, being able to give ourselves that time to have a reprieve. I know the three of us are very goal oriented, and a lot of people that were around are very goal oriented. And sometimes we can feel guilty when we, do these things where we may watch a movie here and there and you're thinking, oh my God, I should be doing X, Y, and Z. But no, if you felt the need to do that, your spirit and your body and your emotions needed that. We have to give ourselves that downtime, like you said, to not think about, stuff, just to kind of recharge. So yeah, I thought this was really good. And I got a couple movies that I'll be trying to find wherever, I don't have streaming services. So we'll see what happens if I can find them.
But I think a good idea too is, maybe picking somebody you can have a movie date with. Like you could totally watch a movie on Zoom with somebody and get your popcorn and get your drink and just laugh, just like we're doing here, watching a movie on the screen. So, don't feel bad if you don't have your date yet. You can have a girls' date and you can do it virtually. Save you time, gas, and money, honey. Don't be rolling up in that movie theater with $20. That won't do it no more. So we really just enjoyed watching some movies for you, or with you rather, this episode. And so we hope that you'll tune in next Thursday. Yes, we'll be in a new month. Don't forget it. A new month will have a new theme. And so we look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But don't forget, throughout the week, we are empowering. Monday nights, we have our empowerment prayer call, pop-up prayer call at 6:30 p.m. And then Wednesday mornings, our empowerment prayer call at 6 a.m. So here's the login information so you can stay tuned. And of course, next Thursday, we'll be here, same time, same place. So we love you lots, love you long time. In the interim, don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay in faith. Have a good night.
See ya.